tried this once before and it did not take any of my audio, so I'm going to hope this works this time. So I'm going to try to walk through a basic tutorial through Canva. I am not an expert, I am self-taught, but I've used this now for 2 years with my current job, and then in particularly the last year where I've been learning how and doing our social media for our church and for another organization. So Canva, you just go to canva.com, you log in with your email and password, and it will take you to your home page. Your home page, there's all kinds of things. There's various ways ultimately to get to what you need to get to. So you can look right here and see all the different templates they have. I'm a very visual person, so I find this really helpful to see the visual, but you can do flyers, you can do cards, postcards, infographic, videos, letters, certificates, Facebook posts, Instagram posts. You can make a website, you can make an email header. There's just a lot you can do. You can also search if you know, hey, I haven't made a flyer yet and I know that's what I want to make. You can search for it and you get a lot of different options that you can choose from. And again, you can go up to templates and it will give you basically the same information but in categories that might help you find what you need. You can look at your recent designs right here. You can also hit on recent designs right here. And what this does is it takes you to everything in the order that you have made it. You've messed with it, someone's been in it. This is really nice if you know that you were just here and you just made a design like 2 days ago, because it's going to show up at the top. It's really more frustrating if you are looking back to something that's 2 or 3 months or even a year ago, because you're going to have to scroll down quite a bit. So what I have done is created folders. So you just click on all your folders and it brings it up and it has folders. Yeah. So you have a folder for anything that has to do with brand or logo, design that you know is never going to change. This is a good place to keep it. I've got several Facebook covers here. I've got them all, the 3 Facebook covers that we have used are all in one document, but you could continue to add if you wanted. Your letterhead, presentation. I will put the brochure that I was working on that is a very, very rough draft. Not even sure I like it. I'll put that in here. Options for newsletters. I've got all of the QC Hunt, which will be nice next year when you go. You can just open this up and you can look at what you did and decide what you might want to copy and use again, what maybe you realize now that you didn't like. And so that is a helpful reference. So I have social media post. And what I've done is I have created essentially one document for each month. If you go on here and scroll down, you'll see we have the original templates that we made. And this is a good place if you know that there's kind of an original template that you want to use. You see something that someone else is using and it gives you an idea and you want to use that design. I would encourage you then to put it back in here into the original, because then that can be copied and pasted and never have to worry about it accidentally getting changed. But you'll see we have January, February, March. I have loan form graphics, April, May, June, and I have already made a July folder, and I'm going to show you how to do that by making an August one. So what is nice, so let's go to May. If you click on May, you have everything that is posted, that's been created and posted for Facebook and Instagram. Instagram and Facebook do not use the same dimensions. And what will happen is when you take something that's made in the dimension, the size for an ideal Facebook post, and you put it on Instagram, it may or may not look the best on Instagram. Some things translate really nice, and others maybe it's just a little off. Instagram, the dimensions seem to work well, obviously, on Instagram, and Facebook seems more versatile in posting various sizes of graphics. And so I have done the Instagram post, that's the template, and then it allows it to very quickly be posted to Facebook and Instagram without having to duplicate it into a whole different form, a whole different size. It creates less work. And then I have everything that we posted in May here. And you just scroll all the way down and you will have everything. Then this is really helpful because then you can look and go, oh, you remember like in April there was something we really liked. Let's go to April and let's repeat either that same graphic or use that graphic and put in different information. And so you can copy and paste and do that. So I'm actually going to take us to June and show you a few things. The first thing I'm going to show you is when you get to the end of June, and I've already created a July one. So we'll pretend that we want to create an August thing. I'm going to simply copy this whole document. And I do that by going to File, Make a Copy. It automatically makes a copy. It renames it Copy of June. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to say, nope, this is going to now be the August 21, everything that's posted on Facebook and Instagram. Hit enter. And this will now show up in my designs. When I do this, I always keep 1 to 2 of the posts from the previous month, just so I have something to begin to get thinking and get creative. You don't have to. You could delete everything in here, but you know that it's all set up and ready to go for August. So I'm actually just going to delete everything from there, but there is still now this August document. Okay, so let's go back to June and let's talk about how do you create. Canva is pretty self-explanatory, very intuitive, and it's been really easy for me when I don't know what to do to type into Google how to do XYZ on Canva and either getting a quick document with a tutorial or a video with a tutorial. And I have not found it too hard to use. There are still things on here I do not know how to use. And so I would encourage you just to keep playing with it. So some of the basics. Let's say I want to add a page. All I have to do, there's 2 things I can do. I can click here at the add a page, or I can go to the bottom and click add a page. So I clicked add a page. Let's say though I want that to be at the top, or I want it to be in position 2 or 3. It's kind of nice to put things from the first thing that's posted to the last thing that's posted, so you can kind of see how you've done it over the month really easily. But again, there's no reason or rhyme to that, just the way I organized it. Page 1, you will always open up 2 templates. It will take you here. This is your menu bar, and so you can sit here and scroll through till you find something that you like and you want to use that template, or you can use it to get ideas. There's a lot of ideas that you can get, or you can search. I've been using quite a bit for inspirational, and you see there again, you can use their ideas. I like that approach. Sometimes you just click on it, and like this is a really good quote. This would actually be, I think, a cool one for narratives. So I could actually just take that and throw it up onto our Facebook page. In this situation, though, it would be nice to make it go with our brand colors, so I can start messing with. I click the background, I come up here, I click on this, and what I have is, well, just all options in the world. It will give you the basic default colors. It will give you, if there is a photo anywhere in this document, it will give you the colors that are included in that photo. These are our brand colors that Annette has picked out. And for most things, we're going to probably stick with our brand colors. This is what you've used recently. And if you click on this, it will allow you to pick out other colors. Ugh, gross. Okay. And if you do something like that and you're like, I don't like that, you have an undo button, or Command-Control-Z will take you, and you can just keep hitting it. So let's say we go there, and then I'm going to click on this. So this was the background, and this is this box with the dots, and I'm going to make that yellow. Nope, that doesn't pop. I like that. Maybe I decide, you know what, now that I've done this, I like the navy blue. And you can just keep messing with this. I can click on that and I can change the color. Text, I can go over here to the text, change color, change color. Boom, I like that. We're good to go. If I like that and I want to post that, I go up to download. Now you'll see I already have 5 pages in here. So I'm going to want to pick page 1 because I don't need to download the rest. Or maybe there's multiple pages I want to download. But I know I just want to download this page. I'm going to select done. They're going to give you a suggested that they think you should, the form in which you should download it. Usually it's PNG or JPEG for posting on Facebook or Instagram, and I recommend the PNG. It's a little higher quality. You can download things into PDF, which is great with flyers and newsletters, your letterhead, that kind of thing. If you made a GIF, if you made a video, so you have options. So picked, and I tell it to download, and so now it's going to download it onto my computer, and I'll be able to take that and I'll be able to post that to Facebook and Instagram. So it's pretty simple. So now we want to play a little bit. Let's say that I actually wanted to include, I wanted like a speech bubble. So elements, it's great. You can find shapes, you can find graphics, frames, grids, charts. I kind of think of it as the old school clip art, but now digital clip art. So I type in and I say speech bubble, and it gives me so many different options. And I'm like, ooh, I like that. And so then I put that on there, and then I'm like, oh, I don't like that. I can hit my delete key. I can go up here because I've clicked it and tell it to delete, and it gets rid of that. So it's pretty easy. Okay, I like that one. I want this one, right? So I want that. But now I can't see the words. So again, I click on that speech bubble, I go to position, and I tell it to go backwards because I want it to be behind the words, but not behind. Oh, yep, I'll need to get rid of this, so I'm going to delete that. All right. And there you go. And I can move it wherever I want. I can move this down here if I wanted. There you go. If I'm like, I need these two things to be together, like I can click on both of them. I can go to position and I say, can you make sure that both the boxes are centered and middle of each other, right? So that it looks like it's supposed to be. Right? And I don't like that, so I move it up. I decide I want it actually, it got me centered, but I want it to be here. Now I want to group them together. So I click on both using my shift key. I go to these for more, and I say group. And now I'm going to move that as a unit, which is really nice. And now I can decide, oh, I want that unit to be, it's already centered. Let's get it middle of the page or any other place. And away you go. And again, you can move this over here if you wanted. You could do it whatever you wanted. So let's say, so now let's undo all of that and kind of get back to our main here. Let's say that I wanted a background picture. So you go to photos, and I asked for speech bubbles, so it's going to show me different photos that I could use of speech bubbles, not just graphics. But let's say, let's see what we get. Shows me everything. I can see graphics. This is everything. But I can just click here for photos. I could also click here for photos. Either of those work. And I could go, I'm going to take it and I want it to be on the background. So I'm going to slide it over until, and it is, oops, there you go, until it is background. And again, then I would probably have to change that color to make it show up a little bit better. There you go. If I say, I like that background a lot, but I need it to be a little dimmer so that the words pop, I go over to this here, transparency, I mean, you can get to where it's no longer hardly there at all. You can get to where it's a little bit lighter. You're just playing with how much of the light seeps through. And there you go. So we'll undo that. As you'll see here, for this post, I wanted something about mistakes. So I found a picture, typed in mistakes, and I scrolled down till I found a picture I liked. Okay, there's that picture. Now, there's two ways to throw pictures in, and it really just depends on how you're wanting to use it and where you want the focus and what the size are. One way is to do what we just did, and you move it over until it's like the page sucks in the picture and it fills the whole screen. Well, that's great, except that the way this picture is sized, it doesn't actually look good at all because it's chopping off the words. So I still want to use that picture, but I need to get rid of it. And now I'll just click once. There's the picture. And now I can get it back down to size, like this. If I say I still need this to be bigger, which is what I did, then I can play with it until it gets about what I want. And then I can add other things, which is what I did here. You can go to background. And real quick, so I'm done with this page. I don't like it. I need to get rid of it. I just click delete. It deletes the entire page. Let's say that I really, really like this and I want to put in a different quote next week. I can tell it to duplicate. It duplicates. And then I can come in here and I can type up my own "Go get 'em." And there we go. And so that's kind of nice to do. So the other thing you can use are backgrounds. And you can search for all the different, they've got them categorized. But you could also search by, if it was Valentine's, you could search by a color. And then the thing with backgrounds is you just click on it and it automatically is a background on the page. The other thing you can do is upload. And upload is really nice. You can upload something from your computer, a picture you've downloaded from some other, any of these other places where you keep. Most of my stuff is going to be on my computer, so I just click on it and I download something that I want to use in my picture. So say, for example, I want to use that. It will now show up, and it's the same thing. I can click and it shows up in there. I can move it over until it becomes the whole page. You have the ability to make this bigger, smaller, all kinds of options. You have the ability to make it more transparent. You can also go over to filter, and let me make it bigger so you can see. You can change colors. You can make it black and white. You just have several different options to play with it. Once this picture's here, I posted it, but you, Annette and he would have access to it. So anything that you bring up on this account and upload, everyone else will have access to, which is really nice. And then you can always just trash it. The other thing that you can add that you always do, is text. So what happens here is all three of our branding texts, the texts that Annette you've decided are to be used, are here. And so let me just get rid of all of this. I click on it and it automatically puts it in there. I type what I want to type, and there we go. Let's say that I want it bigger. You can either come up here and hit your plus key, or just keep going down, or you can type in a number. You can say I want it to be 28.4, and then that's the size it will be. You can also use your arrow in the corner by holding down and moving it. You can change the color here. Some templates do not allow you to bold or italics, and this one is one of them. Let's say you get over here and you decide, I don't actually want to use that one. You click on the font. There are so many fonts available. What will come up is the first 3 fonts will be the brand, the ones we've decided that most of the time we want to stick to using these. But you also have other options, and sometimes you will need to use other options. And so I say I want to do that. That's the one I want. And now this font allows you to bold it, italicize it. You can underline it by just going to this ... What's really nice is the keys that you would use, the control keys that you would use on a Windows or a Mac, you can use here as well. So I can do Command or Control B, U for underline, and I for italics without using my mouse pad. So you have options. This will make your text in the center, make it go to the right, make it go to the left. It really is noticeable when you have more than one line. And I can't type correctly, and it will notice usually. So now I can say I want it to go, I want this whole thing to go to the left. And so again, you can mess with that. You can bold once. Hitting it once gets you the bullet points. Hitting it twice will get you the numbers. 3 times makes it go away. This is really nice because you can decide how close you want those letters, right? How close do you want them? You can decide with the lines how close you want your lines to one another. You can change up effects. So that's in a curve, but I can type in and I want it to be more curve. Ooh, that's too much curve. Okay, so let's make it less curve. And so it will usually give you the number that it thinks. You also have this arrow that it thinks is probably ideal. And that's your suggestion. You can make a shadow. So there's just different options that you can use there. This ... has a few other options. You can hit this and it will make everything capitalized. Your position, where do you want this on the page? I want it centered and I want it in the middle. I honestly do not know how to use that. This is transparency. If I wanted the text to be transparent and get a little lighter. And then there's a link. I have not figured out how to link. Like I can put in the link, but I don't know when I download that page how to keep that link. So that would be something for you guys to research possibly, because that could be really nice if you could have a picture with the link built into it. And let's say I really liked what I've done here, I can duplicate that. Just that, not the whole page, just that. What else can you do? There is animation. So I click on this letter and I want it to animate. And so I can choose what I want. You can also animate a whole page if you had multiple things on your page. So let's go down here to this page. And let's tell it to animate. And you can kind of see, you can kind of bring everything in. And then if you did that, you would download it as either an MP or a GIF. I find for Facebook and Instagram that GIFs work really nice. And there is that option again for GIF. It will automatically do video, but that works too. I'm trying to think of what else I can tell you. Again, you don't like this page, you want to get rid of it, you delete it. It's that simple. You like this setup, and so you go, I'm gonna find another picture. I've got a great quote that I'll put under here. It allows you to, is great, you just duplicate it, and now I find a new picture, say for hope, and I just bring it over, make it fill that spot, and then I can type in my new quote about hope, and there you go. The other thing that is really nice and why I highly recommend doing things for the whole month or for the whole event in one thing, even though you might get like 50 pages, is because it will make going back and copying things. So I'm sitting here in April, and I hope you can see that it's scanning through everything we did in April. So I'm like, I'm pretty sure we did something in April that I really, really liked, and I can't remember what it was. I can click here, I can open it all up, and we're just gonna go straight with the very first thing. I'm gonna go, I wanna repeat this. I might change the wording, but I wanna repeat this. In this situation, I wanna copy this whole thing. I don't wanna use my duplicate buttons because it will duplicate it in this folder, and that's not what I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna click on this page. I'm going to use Command or Control and hit A for all. And then I'm going to hit Command or Control C for copy. And then I'm going to go to my June page. I'm going to add a page, make sure I'm clicking on it, and now I'm going to hit Command or Control V for pasting. There it is. Now you'll remember it doesn't bring over the background. So I'm going to decide we did this background. But you know what? Let's do something a little different this month. Let's do this. And let's make this white because it'll make it pop, those words for narrative. I'm going to make those pop. And now I can either just reuse it like it is, or if I want to use, there's a quote or some other question I want to ask, I can type it in, you know, does Annette let other people drive? Right? There you go. And so that makes it really nice. You can do the same thing for, this is where the templates is nice. We go back to our folders. We're in the social media folder. We have our original templates. So that's why if you start using a design that's really nice, it would be good to make an original because it will allow you to use again. So you'll see in a lot of months I use this again. This is another one. You could copy and paste this whole thing and change the picture, change the text. So you've got options here. In fact, if we go to this June one and we go back to our templates and I type in, I really like this. I really like the quote. I think the way it's set up is very readable, so I'm just changing all of the colors so they're in our brand color. Now, what I noticed, I really like this, but it isn't in our brand color. So what I'll do is I'll try to put it in our brand color, and I'm like, yeah, I like that. If I were to put it in one of our brands and it was like, it really wasn't good, then I might keep it in that font. But as much as possible, I want to move things to our fonts. So I really, really like this. I think this goes well with a couple of the other templates we have where we're doing quotes. And so in this case, I would Control Command A, depending on again if you're using Mac or not. I would go back to my original templates. I would hit Control or Command V. I forgot to hit copy. And I'm going to make that color. And I want to group this entire thing. So I hit my Shift key. I hit everything I want to group together so that it will move as a unit. I group it. And now I'm just moving this. Right? And I would probably, in this situation, why are you doing? My computer doesn't want to. Okay, apologize for that, guys. All right. In this situation, I want to pull this down here because I want us to have that. So I'm just doing, again, I'm clicking on what I want to copy. I'm hitting Control, in my case, Command C, and now I'm going to verify it, and it goes to the back. So now I'm going to mess with this size a little bit. And I want that to be centered. And so there you go. And I want this here too. And our templates are not in an Instagram size post, so that's why you're seeing a little bit of the. So again, I'm just hitting Shift. I'm combining all of these so that they will be grouped and they will be proportionate to I apologize, guys. I'm not sure what is. There we go. There we go. And now I can make it a little bit bigger. And so as you can see, like I'm just messing with it. Position, I want it to be centered. Yep, middle's too far down because I have this, so I'll just move this back up. And make it a little bigger. Can you make it back to center? And I'm going to move it up a little bit. I like that. Now, this is one of the things you have to decide. I actually prefer it without our logo. I think 9 times out of 10, you're going to want to put your logo on here. I think this is one of the times where I would not put my logo on here because I think it's just really pops. So again, I'll download this because it's in the right font. I want it in the PNG. I only want to download page 2, which tells me here page 2 as well. I hit done and I download and away we go. So that is really it in a nutshell. There's just so much you can do with it. You can make videos. I will show you. I'll sign out of here and I'll sign into my account for my other job. And this is why I will show you. So if I click on all my designs, I do not have them in folders. I realized later, like a year into this, I really should have folders, and I got very overwhelmed and still haven't done it. Versus I did this pretty early on here now with you guys. But you can see, like, I'm going with 2 years of work. And you'll be surprised how often there will be something that you want to either recreate, reuse, or recreate and use very similar. And so it's a pain to try to search for it. So the folders are really helpful. But I made this video for our Compassion in Action program, which we do a mobile food distribution once a month. I've been doing it about a year now, but I took January through May, all of the pictures I had that I had been posting, and I created this video, and then I was able to got music to it. I was able to download, not down a little bit, but you get the idea. I was able to download that and share that with our church. And so as you guys do things, maybe next year the QC Hunt might have more pictures and that kind of thing. You can make videos in this. You can also print things. So I made a movie ticket right as the pandemic started, so we weren't able to use them. But you can make a movie ticket, and you can actually print it if you go on this arrow here. you can, through Canva, print things. I'm not saying that's the place to go. You need to research to see, obviously, their local places and that kind of thing, but you do have options to print through Canva. So that is pretty much it. So I'm going to shut this video down, and then I'm going to show you how I load things through Creator Publishing on Facebook.